Welcome back, everyone. My song for today that you're hearing is Nina Simone. To be young, gifted, and black is where it's at. Um, and for this segment, I wanted to talk before I bring my guest in. Serena Williams recently won the. Hold on a minute, she's already calling. Hello, Leanne. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
No, you rejected it, so that's why. Oh. So call back.
She'll call back. Okay, so she's gonna call back. Serena Williams recently. Hola, querida.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. So I'm gonna put you on hold for a minute, and then I'll come back to you.
Okay, that's
okay. So Serena Williams recently won the Wimbledon. Did you see that, son?
Yes.
She kicked butt.
Yes.
I want to say something else, but I'm trying to be good today. And what was sad about her win was the fact that instead of celebrating her win and the fact that she's on a track to be the Grand Slam, was her body. And her shape of her body, the shape of her arm. Does she look like a man? This child does not look anything like a man. Girlfriend has a behind that most women want to have, and the shape that most women want to have. So I really don't understand how we went. But what it did was, to me, it became an attack on black women's bodies. And the difference that society places on how a black woman looks and how a white woman looks, even how a Latina looks, because all women of color get put through that scrutiny that I don't think white women go through. So, we need to stand up. This is another, Sandra Bland is not just about Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland is about all of us. Planned Parenthood is not just about parenthood, it's about all of us. And Serena is not about Serena, it's about all of us. My guest today is Leanne Warren Hyen, who is also a fellow Panamanian, who is fabulous and, Latina, Panamanian educator, former public school teacher and administrator. She's now a PhD candidate who wants to contribute towards decolonizing education for social justice and personal liberation. Love that, okay? Love that. Ask the sister, could you send me a couple of lines? And that's what I got. Just love it. So we both saw, welcome Leanne to the Soulful Afro show.
Thank you, Yvette. It's such a pleasure.
So we both saw the Nina Simone documentary. And I thought for some folks it's just about, you can leave it as a Nina Simone fascination, which I think we both have. But the messages within that speak to all these issues. You could actually take that documentary and put it into 2015 and it carries the same weight. So tell me a little bit about why it stood out for you.
Well, I guess one of the things that was just very compelling for me was the fact that he was this woman who was a genius. It's like, by any standards, she was a genius.
Yes.
And, to think that the struggles that she had to overcome, and of course, it just, and the fact that she was aware of how precarious her sanity was, it just made me think of, like how many people are out there that have this kind of genius and just go unnoticed, by humanity because of the circumstances, of the racist capitalist world that we live in, that just doesn't really nurture that, and only does so within certain parameters. And then, if you don't conform to that, I think of the artists that I value, who have a hard time sometimes, getting their work published, or getting their work recorded and things like that, or getting their work shown. what a loss for humanity, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is,
Astounding.
she spoke a truth, and you and I, know we can, use Nina Simone to mirror a truth that we tried to speak on, as you wrote in what decolonizing education.
Right.
She spoke of that truth of what we're being taught and the messages that are being delivered. I played the song today, Young, Gifted, and Black, and it's like our kids of color, our black kids, our Latino kids, there's been so many studies shown that they are not seen as the students that will succeed, as the students that will make the grade. So share a little bit more about your thoughts on that.
Well, I suppose one of the things that's been, most devastating for me has been seeing Black and Latino, and also, other kids of color, because I was living in Amherst, Massachusetts for a while, and there's a huge Cambodian population there too.
Okay.
Immigrants of color, third world people, from the global south.
Mm-hmm.
It seems as though no matter how long you're here, we're never quite assimilated, are we?
Yes.
Not that I want to be, but, the point is that they come into school bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, excited, little kids going into kindergarten for the first time. They're just so eager to please, and they're so excited to learn. And you see that life being extinguished little by little over the years, and it's devastating. And I was working in a school system that was fairly progressive.
Mm-hmm.
And, we had a lot of very progressive policies. But what it hadn't learned how to do was how to put that into practice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so these policies stayed on the shelf on a document that was dead, And, one of my compañeros, who was an excellent teacher, his name is Roger Wallace, and he's an institution in that town. He's a Black man who was a sixth grade teacher for like 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, he kept talking about, I remember, he'd always say, this isn't about the intellect, it's about the heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And somehow, we dim those children's lights, And then by the time they're getting out of elementary school, they've already internalized often the belief.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm not good at this. This isn't meant for me, And then I think about, like my nephews who've grown up Black in New York City, Black Latinos, and who have had a lot of support in the community for whom different manifestations of their Blackness is not at all in contradiction with being intellectuals and how they were nurtured.
Yeah.
And then, I started seeing my own son, how, and I was even an administrator in that school system. And, but the thing is that doesn't insulate a kid who is brown, and who has a name like, a Spanish sounding name.
Yeah.
And so then, start being marginalized and not paid attention to, and all the assumptions that people make about them. And I remember one time getting to the school, and they looked me up and down and said, so how are you related to Native here? Are you a social worker?
Oh, wow.
Because I'm light skinned and I'm a professional woman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so what about me tells you that I'm not his mother?
Exactly.
When we've been in communication, and when we set up an appointment, and I'm here at the time that you asked me to come, and it's like, and we have to love it.
Exactly.
And it's like, because I like skin and I don't speak with an accent.
Mm-hmm. Which speaks to your experience.
Mind-boggling.
Your experience then becomes a validation of whatever your son comes home and tells you, that you have to stop and pause and say, this could be true, when they feel that they're being targeted because of that assumption that was already made on you when you walked into the building.
Yeah, and I mean, in this case, I have this very dear Haitian friend who used to tell me years ago, she lived in Louisiana for many years, and she told me, yeah, I prefer the South so much, because there, when most people hate you, they tell you straight to your face. Boom. But here in the North, it's so, and I guess what I'm alluding to is the fact that, this is all very subtle in some cases, in schooling,
Mm-hmm.
And like other times it's not, it's very blatant. But, in any case, I feel like we don't do a good enough job. And, now I'm living in New York City again, and, I'm looking at the state of schools and just at how much, that saying of the United Negro Fund, right? A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about all the minds that, are being wasted to some degree. No mind is really wasted. I mean, but they're not necessarily being engaged to develop to their fullest within, all that
they can be.
Mainstream culture has to offer.
So before you go, we can't not have you on the show and allow you a few minutes to speak on the fact that we grew up in an area of Panama where some of these issues were alive and kicking, and we have chosen to engage in dismantling, addressing, liberating ourselves from some of these issues in a short, because you definitely have to come back with just that topic. But as it relates to the Nina Simone issues that we just spoke of, the freeing of the mind, the education, the assumptions, the colonizing, give me a short sentence of what do you think we need to continue to do to address this community that we came from?
Well, to tell you the truth is that, I found being a part of that community so contradictory and so painful, even though I was privileged in many ways within it, and certainly compared to my African neighbors. I was definitely privileged. And yet it required of me a constant denial. Now that I'm older, I realize how many of us in the Canalzone were of Panamanian mothers.
Yes.
And so there's the intersection of, this is always the colonizing experience, right? There's the intersection of the gender and the race and the colonial experience that makes the experience for women different than it is for men. And so then the colonial experience of Panamanian women, in some measure, always somehow is affected by their being a woman, and by gender and their relationships to white men. And so, frankly, I cut myself off from that community for like 30 years.
Wow.
And it's only very recently that I have begun to reconnect in a very tentative manner, only because, one of the things that happens when you get older, I think, is that you don't see things in such absolutist terms. And you realize, that's where the race is going to lie, it's like, you start developing a little humility, and you start realizing, we're all on a continuum of growth.
Yes.
to different degrees and with different amounts of willingness,
And that,
so,
yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
well, and so, I go in and out of trying to gently prod people
Mm-hmm.
and then, just flat out say what I think in a very, dramatic way, which sometimes antagonizes a lot of people. But you pay a price. In fact, I don't know that I feel like that's my community anymore. I've been very fortunate to make a lot of other communities.
Yeah. And the thing is,
it clearly shapes who I am, and it's just it's formative,
Yeah. But it speaks to, I think, our liking of the Nina Simone documentary because she left and then had to come back, in a different way. And I got that. And I just by hearing you speak just now what you just said, clearly you got that because we both have done that to be able to remove ourselves, see things in a different light, and then come back in and stand stronger on our 2 feet to be able to see truth and speak on it.
And I'm happy to speak on it and in any venue that anybody ever wants to listen to me. But I don't know that certain people are willing or interested to speak on it, and I think it becomes I think that's precisely the definition of privilege, right?
Exactly.
You can walk away from this. It's kind of like, this is not my problem. Yeah. I'm not interested. Goodbye. Yeah. And in that case, it's like, yes, let's part ways. Hasta luego.
But I want to thank you so much for speaking truth, number one, for engaging in difficult conversations that require a self-reflection internally and externally. So I want to thank you for that. And
thank you. I feel like kind of like there's more indicated. There's no thank you necessary because I feel like I had to do this for my survival.
Yes.
I don't understand how people could have passed.
Yeah.
It's beyond me because there's something so visceral. It's literally denying my mother.
Absolutely.
I can't.
Absolutely. So
and I cannot.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just quickly, just speaking to that whole body issue thing too.
Yeah.
There's a way in which I feel like I embody my Latina-ness.
Mm-hmm.
Latinidad. It requires. It'd be like cutting up my leg or something. You know what I mean? Deny, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for not denying any part of Leanne. Because she comes with a whole lot of gusto. Mucho che. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to you joining me again on the show.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Un abrazo.
Un abrazo. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This is a good show today.
Mm-hmm.
Should we take a break or should we just go on in and because we're down on time?
Let's take a quick break and come back and do a final podcast.
Okay, we'll be taking a quick break and we will be right back.
Great truth that you should know to be young. Your soul's intact. Hear what I say? Hear what I say? Be young, gifted and black. Oh, how I long to know the truth. There are times when I